Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are camping out in the backwoods of Maine, up on some property that I own up there. We are going to be testing out some equipment, trying out new tents, comparing old camping equipment with new camping equipment, and having a grand old time. So I set this cabin up last night when I got in. It was already dark. Note to self, always get to your camp spot a few hours beforehand, then set up, then go visit friends. I went and visited friends before getting here. That's why I didn't bother filming it, because it was dark and I could barely see anything as I set up. It was a decent night last night, but we'll be going through this a lot more. We'll be going through all of the camping gear that I have acquired and upgraded, and all of my old stuff that I'm still going to use. I'm going to set stuff up in different styles. We got some snow last night. It's beautiful. And we got the stove going, and we got breakfast about ready to cook. So let's slip in here. I did not finish setting up the tent with the stakes last night because it was so late. I didn't get my chair or my cot in here. I just got in here, got the stove going, and went to bed. So we're going to cook some of Luke from the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel's famous bread. I'm gonna find a place to set you, and we'll get set going. It's turning out sort of like pancakes. I don't think that this rose very well last night. I don't know if I had it hot enough or my yeast was too old. But this is definitely very much like two large pancakes. I forgot to bring plates. And I also realized I forgot spoons and forks. So we're going to have to improvise here. So I forgot spoons, forks, plates, and all that good stuff. So we've got the pan sitting on some of the kindling that I made. And we got the pancake bread sitting on some more of the kindling, cooling off a little bit. You'll notice I had a bunch of wood here between me and the stove. That way I don't roll into the stove and catch my sleeping system on fire. So this is the USMC We have the 3-season sleeping bag inside the winter sleeping bag with a bivy beside it. I wasn't sure how warm this place was going to be while I was camping, so I way overpacked, and I ended up just sleeping on top of my sleeping system with the stove at about a quarter open, and both the front window and the back window wide open to maintain a positive, or maintain proper temperature in here for me. I'm going to shut this way down, not quite off. I want to keep it warm in here throughout the day while I work. That way it's easier for me to come in and warm up if I get wet or cold while I'm on my hike. And I'm going to be right around for the first while. I'll make sure the fire's out before I go for my long hikes. But I really like this tent because it warms up really quick. It maintains the heat really well. It was about 20 degrees last night, and like I said, I needed, just to have the stove on, I needed the front and back windows wide open. I closed that one, the outside shell of that one, because it started to snow really heavy in the middle of the night, and I didn't want anything coming in and soaking inside here. But we've got the 2 ceiling racks that are great for drying clothes and keeping things warm. I've got all my sleeping system over here with my wood that I prepped, and then I've got my bags over here with my spare gear and stuff. So we'll go through that. I'm going to eat first, and then we'll finish setting up the tent and go through some gear. Alrighty, we are back. We just had breakfast. We're going to finish setting up the tent and then go over some gear reviews. This is going to be a small mini series similar to the Farmall A. So I started camping. We camped with my dad quite a bit as kids, and I normally use a small hatchet that I got from him. But of course, like my silver utensils and dinner plates, I don't have those with me today. So we are going to be comparing a few other things. So we have a kukri, which is the similar knife to what Alan Kay used on Histories Alone. That's why I got that and started using that one as a knife hatchet combo. We have, I forgot what it's called, this one that Luke likes to use on Outdoor Boys YouTube channel. We have Survival Lilies APO1. I'm going to be testing that one out. I got that one a few years ago. I've been meaning to camp with it. Never have. Just always ran out of time. And then finally we have the Mora knife, which I use to cut the tallow out because I don't have a fork. This is the preferred knife of Dave Canterbury from the Pathfinder School, which I enjoy his YouTube videos. I will leave links to all of these items and all of these people in the description below. None of them are affiliate. This is just me testing out gear. I've used the Mora knife, the hatchet, and the kukri most extensively. I'm testing out this other knife, that new knife, and then a couple of saws. So I've always enjoyed the big boy. I've used that camping quite a bit. You guys have seen me use the Silky Saw F180. I use that one fencing quite a bit because it fits nicely in your pocket. And we are going to continue with the testing of the Boreal 21 saw. So first we're going to get started by staking the tent, opening that back up. I didn't do it last night because it was so dark and I didn't want to puncture anything or fight any more than what I already had. So it's not too bad of weather right now. We are sitting at about 30, 25 to 30 right now. I'm gonna leave the tent, like I said, going just in case I get wet and cold. I can go in, dry off real quick, change, and yeah. I don't tent camp very often, so this is a learning experience, a slight learning curve here. I do like this knife a lot better because I can use it for a hammer like I have been there. A hatchet would be even better. The kukri, you don't have the same back section to hit way out here. At least on this version you don't. So we'll try it over here. And if I'm setting the stakes in wrong, like I said, I don't go tent camping very often. And I am in a slightly confined space here because I knew it was going to storm and I want to be somewhat protected if everything went south. And as you can see, this is another reason why I say get there early. I have the footprint of the tent completely backwards. So, well, not 100% necessary. I wanted to try out the whole system since I got the whole system. And evidently I got that one wrong. I don't know if I can get that one in there. I think there's a rock right here. Oh, that one went in all right. Evidently the ground right here isn't completely frozen, because once you break through, these are going in quite nicely. Stay? Nope, you're not gonna stay. So you'll see over here, I didn't quite choose a big enough footprint. This tree is in the way. Should have chosen a slightly bigger area, but that's part of the fun of camping. see this one has a very thick tang, same as the other ones. Mostly the main difference is the size and shape of the blade. But this one has a lot less weight. This is more of a knife rather than a small hatchet like these other two. That's what I didn't want to happen. So what's going on is I placed this one too far out, or these not far enough out. So whenever I try and actually tighten that side, it opens the door. So instead of trying to put a tent stake there, I think I'm going to just strap that around the tree. And that's why we have this ball of twine. I have to rethink this testing. I can only carry out so many on my hip without it being ludicrous and ridiculous. There we go. Best tent stake there is. If that tent stake goes someplace, I'm in trouble. So what I just did there was I walked around checking all of the extra tie downs in case I wanted to strap it down any place. I don't think so. This is the only slightly flimsy section, and I'm only here for one more night. We're not supposed to have high winds, it's supposed to just be cold. So I think we're gonna go with it as is right now.